Yeah, I just want to do a video here. I see a lot of videos online of people breeding these rabbits, and there just seems to be a lot of questions. So I thought I'd do a short video on just some information for some of you that are asking questions about nest boxes and just the breeding process in general. To start with, we'll start with our doe. I like to wait till the doe is between 9 and 12 months old before I breed them for the first time. For the meat size rabbits, these are California New Zealand crosses, which is her. There's my mama right there. And then once you breed them, I like to put them in with the buck. Uh, you know, for about 20 minutes, depending. I like to watch them breed and make sure the buck falls off the back and then starts thumping the cage. I like to see him do that at least 2 to 3 times before I pull her out. And you always want to put the doe with the buck, not vice versa. And then you can wait 4 or 5 hours or up to 8 hours and do it again. Put the doe back in with the buck, just a little reassurance that she was bred. I've never had a doe not take unless they're too young. But these meat rabbits, they tend to mature a little slower than your smaller breed rabbits. But I have found that the younger does tend to have smaller litters, 5 to 6 kits versus a large litter like this one. I'll get 10 to 12 kits at a time. Now my cages I use are roughly 4 feet long by 30 inches wide. It gives ample room for the doe and with her babies. The nest boxes seems to be a big question that people have. This particular nest box, here, watch out, get out, get out, okay. This particular nest box is 12 inches wide by 16 inches long and about 10 inches tall. And then I have little steps on it. Now what I've done, I've found from trial and error over the years, is I'll throw some straw in there, and then the mama will also pull hair and make her nest. But after about 1.5 to 2 weeks, the young ones will start hopping, even though they're at 2 weeks their eyes open, but a little bit before that they'll actually hop. And you could actually hop out of the nest. So if your doorway is too low, they'll actually hop out, and if you don't happen to be around and it's nighttime, they'll lay on the wire and it gets cold at night and they'll die. So I put little blocks on here, just a little piece of plywood on a single screw. So at a young age, I flip it down like this, and then once they get about 3 weeks, I'll actually flip it up, and then they can get in and out easier. And I put little steps on there. I prefer to do a lid, mainly only because it makes the mama feel a little more, gives her a little more privacy, and so on and so forth. The little one going in there. So anyway, let's see here. So after the young were born, it takes 2 weeks for their eyes to open. And then I like to wait to about 6 to 8 weeks for them to get weaned. And then I always leave one kit with the mother for 2 or 3 days after I pull the rest out. And I put them in another large pen all together. I always breed multiple females or does at one time, for the simple reason it keeps it simple for me for dates of when babies are going to be born, when they're going to be weaned. And also the other benefit of breeding multiple does at one time, if you happen to have one doe that has 15 or 16 in the litter, well, she can't handle that many young. And you happen to have another doe that only has 5 or 6, you can pull some of those young away from the doe with multiple little ones and give them to the one trying to climb the wall. Give them to the other mama, and she'll actually take care of them if they're under like a week and a half old. She'll actually adopt them and take them over. If they're older than that, she won't. She'll kick them out, or she just won't take care of them. So once they're weaned, I like to put them in a large cage, and I put all the young together in multiple large cages. And then I like to raise them up. We use them for butchering. These are our eating rabbits. So I like to raise them up until they're about 11 to 12 weeks. For a family of 4, that they butcher out then at about 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds. So it tends to work out real well. And so that's what we do. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer what I can. I've been doing this for several years now, and I got it down pretty good. But I'm sure there's always things to learn. On a hot day, you'll want to keep fans on your pens. In fact, we need to turn one on here today. It's getting warmer, and I always just feed. Some people say you shouldn't keep food in front of them all the time. I do. I keep food in front of them 24/7, and water's always full. And then we also feed them during the summertime when the grass is growing. We cut grass every day and give them some fresh grass to eat on too. And clover. They seem to really like it. It helps cut down on my feed bill, which is really nice for us. And they enjoy it. So if you have any questions, like I said, post them and I'll answer what I can.